So I'm going to give a little DNA test of an entrepreneur here. All right? You will know if you're an entrepreneur if loves being creative? Come on, give me a raise. Who likes writing poems, decorating? Halloween's up. Love decorating, right? Everybody likes writing. I know artists out there. Man, playing bands. People just love writing music. People like, creating their own thing. Some artists are just starving. They don't even care. They just want to make and create something. Who's restless? No achievement is ever good enough. Man, I could always do it better. Who says that? Damn it, I should have done it this way. No. You know what? I should have went with this color. Man. Who thinks that way? Who's a control freak? And yes, I don't know if this is a bad thing, but I'm a control freak. Who's a control freak? Who says, not many people raise their hands on this, by the way, because nobody wants to admit it. Control freak? Yeah, usually that's how it goes. You don't want to admit it, but man, I want to do it this way. Why don't you just do it this way? I told you. Who's the black sheep, the outsider, the loner in this room? Right? She talks about it. People look at you and say, man, that guy just doesn't belong. That's why these entrepreneurs out there, they just know they don't belong in the corporate world. All right? So they just know it. I don't belong here. What am I doing here? I ask myself every day. Loner. I put my headphones on at school, and I would just keep my head down, and super shy kid. I mean, to an extent, I'm somewhat outgoing, but just didn't know what I was doing. And I was an outsider. I know I'm an outsider. In my book, DreamStarter, the Startup Business Guide for the Diehard Entrepreneur, I write the book to the outsiders. I love the movie The Outsiders because I know I just didn't belong where I was. And then she said it, people think you're crazy. You ever hear these network marketing people? People always look at them and say, man, these people are crazy. They're part of a cult. What do you mean? What's wrong with being happy with what their lives are? Wait a second. They're trying to make a living on their own? What's wrong? They're crazy? What? I don't know. But every entrepreneur that you look at, you'd be like, you know what? That person is a little off. Who thinks they're crazy? Who's been ever told, man, you're crazy for doing that? Yeah? Yeah. Ted, I bet you. According to Forbes magazine, a study done at Bentley University, almost 70% of people want to start their own business. 70%. It's unbelievable. Why isn't there more entrepreneur classes at school? If that's what everybody wants, why aren't they teaching it? I think there's a couple different reasons, but that's another talk. 70% of people. Why are people not starting a business? Rick, why don't people want to start a business? Fear. Number one, fear. They're afraid. People are afraid to take that jump. Once again, because you're not educated. So, you're going to fear. It's scary to not know where you're going, but, man, my heart's guided me, so I'm going to go for it, but I don't know where I'm going to land. Here's some other reasons. No money. I don't have any time. Nothing to offer. I have no business experience, no resources, no connections. So all these people want to start a business. They never do because of these reasons. But here's another thing. I'm afraid because the success rate is so low. 1 out of 5 make it to year 5. 1 out of 5? Jeez, oh man. We failed. I failed in the second business, failed in the third. 4th one made it. Was able to make some money from it. Rental property. Kind of realize your mistakes, and eventually on your second property, if you do it right, you make money. It takes failure to teach you something. So since it's October, there's a very famous author out there, H.P. Lovecraft. He's a horror writer. And he basically made his money by scaring people. He says this, the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. I think that's so true. People do not make choices in their life because they're afraid. And if you're afraid, then you're going to be frozen. You're going to be stuck. Who wants to be stuck in life? I believe the entrepreneurs out there, the people who put it online, they're not afraid of fear. That's not their number one emotion. I think it's fear of regret. That's what I believe is the number one reason why people risk it all. I do not want to sit in my bed when I'm 90 years old, say to myself, man, I wish I would have done this. And there's a book out there by Bronnie Ware. It's called the Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. She's a person that went around to different hospitals, people on their deathbed, and just asked them questions and said, what do you regret in life? They never, ever, ever regretted the things that they did. They regretted things that they didn't do. The number one regret when you're dying is I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not to the life of others expected of me. So all these people that really want to start a business because they want to put their heart and soul into something, they don't do it, chances are they're going to be on their deathbed, they're going to regret it. Chances are, that's what they're saying in this. So I'm telling you right now, and what Sherry was talking about, is you have to live your life or you're going to regret it. Yeah, it's scary to put your money into something you don't know it's going to work out. But if you get the right education, if you get the right people around you, it's not as scary.